All right, 2025. Let's go. Whoa. What's this now? So I guess we're going to start 25 in the garage. But no, this isn't mine. I didn't pick up another one. I came damn close to buying one of these a couple years ago, but didn't happen. Now we're going to start in the garage this year. The month of March has had some pretty good weather, so people are getting a head start on riding and maintenance in this case. This is my buddy's bike. You've probably seen it in other videos. And it's time for this stuff to go. I think it's seen a little bit of a premature failure. I'm assuming that once I get that chain off of there, I'm probably going to find some torn O-rings or something. Something happened to get these things seizing up because he's having a lot of trouble with it. And it just doesn't have the mileage for that kind of failure yet, I don't think. So, for now, there's no snow on the ground right now, but I mean, look, this guy is still sitting here. So, it's quite obvious that it could come back any minute. So I don't even have any of my bikes out yet. I'm just going to make some room in here to work on this for a bit. So let's rearrange work. Just move this guy out of the way for now. Oh, and this guy, this absolute fool, the latest addition to the household over the winter. All right. Stop eating so many leaves. So I guess the plan to start this off, this is a single-sided swing arm. I kind of forgot about that whenever I was planning to do this job. Makes things a little, well, I won't even say more difficult, just a little different about how they come apart. We'll have to take off this rear sprocket carrier. So I think we'll do the rear sprocket first. Then once we're done, we can kind of loosely reassemble everything and then shift to the front sprocket and the chain. From what I'm seeing about removing the front, they want you to take the cover off and then move things like the slave cylinder and even loosen parts of the water pump and drain the coolant. And I think a big part of that is because to get the chain off of the sprocket, you need that extra clearance in that circle. I'm just hoping because I'm changing the chain and the sprocket, they'll be able to come off together, hopefully. And of course, I mean by coming off together, I can pull the chain through after I cut it, pull just the sprocket off of there, then put the new sprocket on, put the chain through. You know, this ain't our first rodeo, right? We'll see. It might not work. We might have to dig a whole lot deeper. We'll deal with that when we get there. Yeah, as far as the mileage on this thing, I can't remember now. 24,786 kilometers. So yeah, kind of low. Kind of low for that chain, but I mean, not the worst I've ever seen either. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Let's get at it. Well, we didn't make it very far, did we? Managed to get the front sprocket cover and the chain guard off, and then thought, hey, remember, never trust parts people. So counted up the links in the chain, and they sold my buddy the wrong chain. So back to a standstill.
The next day.
Well, here's where we stand at the moment. Trying not to let the wrong chain hold us back too much. Got the rear hub all apart. Apparently there was a recall on these, that these bearings needed to be changed out because they were coming from the factory with not enough grease in them. Apparently the recall has already been done on this one, but I don't know. Call me crazy, but there's not a ton of grease in there. I mean, this is all that came out on the shaft. That's not a lot. We'll add a bit, clean it up. There's kind of a lot of things that have to come apart just to get the sprocket off, but it's not really difficult. Here we have the rear sprocket carrier. Another bearing in here. The new sprocket is in place, just not torqued down yet. It's still sitting on there loose. So the plan right now is just to get the rear back together with the sprocket in place. I'll put the chain loosely on the sprocket and then cut it, or I should say grind the head off and then press it apart. Then up here, this is already loose. According to the manual, to remove this, you got to move the slave cylinder and part of the water pump, I believe, too. But I'm hoping that since I'm doing the chain and the sprocket, I should be able to feed the chain off of there, slide the sprocket off by itself. Hopefully. Still not sure, though. It looks pretty tight to get around this. So that slave cylinder at least may have to move. Anyway, onward. Okay, we got the rear hub reassembled. Everything all torqued and back together. Now I just started going over this chain. I was really expecting to find tight links in it. Maybe some of them starting to seize up. And what I found was kind of the opposite. It seems like most of the chain is kind of normal, but then there's spots where it's really worn out. And one of the worst is the master link right here. I want you to check this out. Look at this thing. Those pins are very worn out. I'm actually going to split the chain there so I can get a look at them.
Tomorrow.
Chain break time. Let's see what kind of shape those pins are in. There it is. Just as I thought. A lot of wear on the center of that pin. Focus. And there's a few of them like this, and most of them are not. This is the other part of the master link. It is every bit as bad. There's a ton of wear right there. But then on the other end of the chain, near the other end of the master link, ton of wear there. And then just a couple of random spots in the chain. It's perfectly normal, and then all of a sudden it's totally worn out. Really strange. But it explains what he was saying. He would adjust the slack in the chain, and it would be right. And then you'd roll the bike maybe a foot, and all of a sudden the chain was super tight again. You were basically adjusting it while these loose parts were here. And then once you'd roll it, they get up on the sprocket and you had normal chain here again, and all of a sudden it was tight again. Really strange. The seals, I think they look like some kind of X-ring. They didn't seem the greatest. There was, rust inside of here. And I mean, it's not for lack of maintenance. He took care of this. That's the way it goes, though. You can't win them all with chains. And, good news, this slips right out of here. When the chain is not involved, there's plenty of room, so we don't need to take anything else apart. So, we can start reassembly here as soon as this new chain shows up.
Eventually.
And that's pretty much it. Chain's on, sprocket's on, everything's torqued and tightened. Well, except of course for the guard and the sprocket cover, but the bulk of it is done. I think that front sprocket gets torqued to like 107 or something like that. Lock washer gets folded over so it can't back off. And we just gotta get the wheel on, drop it down, and just do a quick adjustment on that. Overall, not a terribly difficult job. If you're watching this hoping for a step-by-step how to do it, well, that's in the manual. You really should have one. I do a lot of this work, but I still always download a manual. If nothing else, for the torque specs alone, it's worth it. But videos like this can be helpful because, like, for example, in the manual, it tells you to drain the radiator, take, like I said, the slave, the water pump, everything apart to get that out of there. I think it's because, like I said, they're writing it in a way that you're taking that sprocket off with the chain in place. And yeah, you're probably going to need extra clearance to get that past there. But in this situation, you just, the chain comes out first, then the sprocket comes out. It's not a big deal. So yeah, there's extra steps involved with this bike to change the rear sprocket just because the nuts live on the back side. So you can't just unbolt it right here like a lot of bikes with these single-sided swing arms. But in a way, it's kind of a good thing because it forces you to take it apart and service it. Like, it's not a bad idea to open that up once in a while and, clean up the bearings, inspect them, throw some grease on them. So anyway, hopefully this warm weather keeps going, even though it doesn't really seem like it's going to. And the next time you see this thing, it'll be out on the road.